That was so good.
Did we do it? Did we nail it?
We're good at this. Wow, professionals.
Hell yes.
Whew.
Welcome
Slap me
everybody to What's Eating You. I'm your host, Bryan Young with...
Ariel, Leaty.
This is a food and culture podcast about the intersection of food and culture, where we interview guests who also love food and culture. And our guest
Oh my gosh, can you
today
imagine?
is Renee Paquette, formerly Renee Young with the WWE, now a podcaster and brand new cookbook author. The book is out today.
Wow. Is that the book in
This
the
is
background?
this is it. This is her.
Ooh.
This is her in all
She
of her
looks
glory.
good.
Oh, baby. It's amazing what a
Ooh.
little makeup and hair can do.
I love it looks like it's got a lot of girth to it.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
book.
you know what? It's not too bad. She brings a lot to the party, I feel.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like the title, Messy in the Kitchen.
Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Coming up with a title was honestly one of the hardest parts of figuring out. Like, it's like I'm about to have a baby as well, and it's like naming a person. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is forever.
Right.
This is the branding. It's very stressful. So,
Branding.
yeah, it's her branding. It's my branding. Yeah, it's all of those
No,
things.
that's so true. If you think
It
about
is.
Julia Child's cookbook that everyone
Right?
has,
Word.
Yes,
that lasted forever.
forever. Yeah, if you don't have that cookbook, I don't know what to
Who
say
are
to you.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I absolutely do not have it, but I know it because everyone does.
Fair enough. Then we'll have to get you one. You need
Thank
to
you so
have
much.
one.
Wow.
You just
Already
need,
getting me
like,
gifts. I'm
It's
really
for
into this.
kitchen cred. You need it.
You
That's
have-
true.
yes.
That's true. That's fair.
You need
Yeah.
a few pieces of Bourdain stuff, some
Yes.
Julia Child stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Yes,
you
I'm
know, a
millennial,
little
I have
Ina
Bourdain.
Garden for fun. Yeah, the Bourdain ones are always great.
That's
And
my
he's
thing.
such a great writer.
I mostly have Ina. I can show you my Ina
Right.
collection. I have
Okay.
no problem.
You know what? I feel like there's parallels, and I'm
Thank
into
you.
it. It's fine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Oh, Renee. So I don't know if Bryan told you this, but every episode we talk about what's eating you. So something that's gone on this week that is just has grinded your gears a little bit. Or if you don't have anything negative to say, we usually do. You can say what's feeding you, something positive that happened to you this week that you are very happy about.
Well, mine kind of go hand in hand because
Perfect.
all my stuff is very positive, but it can also be very stressful. So, I mean, I'm 9 months pregnant. My
Wow.
book came out today.
Oh my God. Imagine if you had the baby on the pod.
Right?
That would be great
It
for
could
us.
still happen.
My water broke. I mean, it would be great if I birthed a child and a book all in
Yeah.
one
Oh
day.
my God.
Both
yeah.
children, really.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Both required a lot of love and care and attentiveness. But yeah, I would say this week it's been a mixture of both all of the best things combined with being as stressed out as one can possibly be.
Okay.
You know, of like trying to do, you know, you're doing all of the media, you're trying to like get the book out to people, you're making sure it's sent out to all the right people it needs to go out to. I'm also doing my podcast, so I'm doing all these interviews and trying to do all the research for that. My mom has just moved out to Las Vegas from Canada, so she's here,
Oh, wow.
she is getting ready, she's getting acclimated. I'm getting kicked in the ribs constantly. My bladder is very untrustworthy at this point. I constantly need a nap, and there's no time for any of these things. So it's all the good and the bad. I mean, it's stuff that I've worked really hard on, and it's all just accumulating at the exact same moment. But it's also the best.
Yeah.
I
Man.
think that sounds amazing because it sounds like you're so busy. It's overwhelming, but it also feels good to be busy at the same time.
Yes, I love being busy, and that's
Yeah.
my problem when I'm not busy. Like I actually had on Sunday, I did absolutely nothing, which is very rare, and I loved it. But I woke up the next day being like, "Oh, this needs to be done, and this needs to be done," and like all of a sudden, I'm like back to being on fire of feeling like I had a day off and I was slacking, and that I need to like pick it back up again.
Wow,
Yeah.
Renee, my what's eating you is similar to yours, but very different. I can only do one thing per day, or then I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
So I did something on Sunday. I went to an event and had to schmooze with people, and it was exhausting. And I'm still recovering. And it's been 3 days since Sunday.
Schmoozing's a lot of work. I don't think people understand. Well, I mean, people
Yeah.
do understand, but it's like, oh, you go to a party, you got to hang out, but it's like you got to be on. You got to
Mhm.
like have the right amount of drinks to still keep it
Yep.
together, but
Of
still being
course.
fun.
I don't know how to do that
Um,
anymore.
Floating around the room. I'm really
Yeah.
bad. I'll just find someone and just stay there. I'll just get like
Yeah.
stuck.
That's the way
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
Because that's more fun. Why
The
am I?
safety
It's not
friend.
my party,
Yes.
so I don't need to do that. But people
Exactly.
don't realize that as a girl, it's more difficult. Like we have to do our hair and makeup, have an outfit, shoes, pedicure, manicure, the
Yeah.
whole thing before the party even happens. I was
know.
having stress dreams about this party. So
Yeah. No, it's very, very true. I've even been like that, just getting ready for my baby to come out, and not in the aesthetic sense that I'm like, oh, I need to have all these things done so I look a certain way. Just appointments that I've had booked. I had to go get my hair done, and I'm trying to time out getting my nails done as close to her being here, only so I don't get snags. Like when I get
Okay.
snags in my nail, it drives me crazy, and because I do a dip manicure, I cannot fix this myself.
Okay.
I have to get someone to help me, so I can't even deal with it on my own.
Man,
It's a
this
first
is going to be the
world
last
problems,
manicure you ever
but-
get. So it has to be good.
I know.
For 18 years.
Yeah,
Like,
this
this
is
is
it.
what I'm
This is
thinking.
the
It's like,
final
what-
one.
What do you pick? What do you do? I go
It's gotta
neutral
count.
just to keep it safe, but then I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, do I really put something on there and like really make it work? I don't know.
Jazz it up. Whatever. It's the
don't
final
know.
countdown.
I'll just put her name. I'll get a little
Yes.
Yeah,
of
that's
her
right.
name.
That's the debut of her name. Wow, we
Ooh.
figured it out. We workshopped this together on the
That
pod.
would be
Wow.
huge. Just your hands on Instagram.
Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah. People be like, nice janky nails. I don't know. Throw
My,
on
uh,
moisturizer.
Mine was similar to Ariel's. I went to my first party since the pandemic on Sunday. Everyone was vaccinated, so it was the first maskless indoor thing. And
Did you feel weird?
It felt weird. You're like raw dogging air, you know?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so ugh.
Yeah. My face wasn't
Raw
ready.
dogging air.
It's just like
You are.
ugh. And like, you know, like there was that awkward thing of like, do we hug? Like, do we
Yes.
It's so you forget that being a human being takes practice, and we were all
Mhm.
practiced for every day of
Yes.
our lives until March of 2020, and then we all became weirdos who just never left the
Yeah.
house.
We took a lot
It's
of
a
steps
muscle.
back. Yeah, no, it's true. Because you like, do you fist bump? Are people still throwing the elbow out? Are
Right.
we doing the hug? What? And like, people's comfort levels are so all over the place.
Exactly.
And even though people are vaccinated, it is a slippery slope.
It's very
is.
weird. Like you said, Renee, everyone's at different levels of comfortability.
Yeah.
But you know, like you said, it was the right amount of drinks. By the end of the party, everyone was all over
What is
each
your right
other.
amount of drinks though? What is that? for
Oh,
you?
I was talking to my buddy Mike. Now it's nothing because I didn't drink really during the pandemic. I was home,
Same.
so it was like one.
Good for you.
That's
Yeah.
good.
where I'm gonna
That's a
be.
money saving trick, honestly.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel. I'm looking so forward to that first glass of wine after having the baby. I'm like, I'm probably going to be on my ass, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen because I've not drank in 9 months.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, my wife and I recently went to Hawaii after we both got vaccinated. We're like, we need to leave New York and go on
Nice.
vacation. We had 3 drinks on a boat, and with the way the boat was moving and with the 3 drinks, we were blasted. We were like, this is the best time of our lives. We're toasted. And you know, it's like those
Best.
watered down cheap drinks you get on
Yeah.
a boat, but we were still
Those
like,
weren't
oh.
even
That was a
drinks.
good way
You had
for
a
you to dip
juicy
your
juice.
toe, though. That's a
Exactly.
good way to get started. You can kind of like ease yourself in. It's not going to be like some stiff, gnarly drink. You'll be okay.
That's
Thank
right.
God. Yeah, I'm not ready for like that first hangover, though.
No.
I'm
I've
still in
loved
it,
not having a
so-
hangover. You are right now?
Yeah, I'm like
Ugh.
keeping it together as much as I possibly can, but
Oh,
after
I'm
this, I
sorry.
will be going to sleep. It's fine. I had a bottle of champagne. It was a bridal shower,
Yeah.
and there was like champagne at every table, and you know, I was the friend that couldn't keep it together. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
So long as you're not puking, though. I'm a big puker when I'm
No.
hungover.
Oh,
like
wow.
Oh, no, I'm
big,
not a
yeah.
puker.
Like I'll
See-
be all day. I'll be in bed. My husband's bringing me like brothy soups. It's a shit show. It's bad. He knows my routine. He'll get me like ice water. I have like like that Lipton chicken noodle soup that's just like
Yeah.
yellow with the noodles.
yeah,
it's
it's
that.
not good.
That's
yeah,
ama-
but
you
it's
know
good.
what I
It's
found?
what I need.
Pukers puke every time, and they're just
Yeah.
like, I'm a not puker. I'm a hold it in and ride it. I ride
Yeah.
it out.
Same.
My friend Tim pukes every time alcohol touches his lips. Like it
Oh.
doesn't. Even, yeah.
I'm not that bad.
But the way
if I'm
pukers are so
puking, I've
nonchalant
earned
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm puking,
Yeah.
I've earned it. But I'm like the next day puker. I don't puke
Got it.
when I'm drunk. It's like
Mm.
the
Oh,
hungover.
Yeah.
Oh God, it'll be a long time until I do that though. You still have to like when you have a baby, you can only have a glass of wine or two. You
Right,
can't
right. Yeah, a
go
little
crazy.
sip.
Let's not go nuts. Just a little
Yeah.
something. So that'll be nice. You know what? I feel like I've like righted my course through this. It means I have to get my shit together.
Yeah. And that's fine.
That's fine. Renee,
I've earned it.
I wanted to ask you. So I'm in New York. I'm in Harlem now, but I used to live in Astoria, and I swear I saw you on the train one time.
Yeah,
I
you
love it on
probably did.
Astoria Boulevard, and I was like, that person looks like Renee Young. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I was like, but it can't be. Like, why would she live in my neighborhood? But
I lived in your neighborhood.
Yeah, okay.
I did.
So, yeah, I was
absolutely
wondering
did.
if you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live at Ditmars and 45th.
Oh, yeah. I was on
Yeah.
Ditmars and 27th, so we were
See?
neighbors.
We were neighbors.
Wow.
Yeah,
at you guys.
I loved that neighborhood. I loved living out there.
That story was
And
great.
I loved living in Astoria. And when I was like moving out to New York, so I had only been to New York like once or twice prior to me going. It was like in and out, quick little trips. Like I had no lay of the land. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So when I was moving, I was like, oh, I guess I'll go to Brooklyn. That's supposed to be like
Right.
the cool thing to do. And then I realized because I had to travel to Stamford, Connecticut weekly. And I was like, that seems a little annoying getting in and out of there. So anyways, I ended up looking in Queens and Astoria was a spot. And what a time I had. Many memories, especially on that NQR line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
my
the end of
husband
the
and
line.
I would take it to the very end of the line. My husband and I, when we were dating, we would like get like our tall boys, wrap them in a brown paper
Yeah.
bag. Like that was the best.
That's yeah, because you can grab beers at Penn Station,
Yeah.
put them in a brown bag, and get home.
Yeah, there's and
Nice.
there's like the little corner store like right at the end of the NQR line at Ditmars. So you could hop in there, and they also had. I remember like one time specifically getting like the tall boy beers, but they also is when they were doing like it was like Doritos combined with a mac and cheese, but they were like these fried
Oh my
little like
God.
triangles.
God.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
Yeah.
this.
We would bring those with us too.
Oh,
Wow.
gotta do
That's
it.
a time.
So-
What a time capsule.
Yeah.
Ariel, if you don't know, Renee's husband is Jon Moxley. He's a pro wrestler and
Okay.
formerly Dean Ambrose. My friend Bob, who also lived in Astoria, told me one time that he thought he saw you guys, and I didn't believe him because he told me like that John was in a full neck cast on the train.
Maybe he lives the gimmick, brother.
And I'm like, that's incredible
Yeah.
that he like wore, because people would see you guys. So he's like, I have to do the thing that happened on the show. And
I don't
That's
really
amazing.
remember. I don't remember that specifically, but I do remember he like retained the WWE Championship when at Madison Square Garden, and then we just like ran out of the show and took the subway back home.
I love that's amazing.
Yeah, it was
Because you
great.
would imagine that you guys would get a car or something,
No.
but you're just like a New York comedian, like me and Ariel, just taking the train.
Yeah.
They're just like us.
The
Yep.
world champion on the NQR.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, you got to be humbled by the subway. I love taking the subway. That's the one thing like I truly miss moving out to Las Vegas because like I grew up in Toronto or
Mhm.
like outside Toronto, but like I lived in Toronto, lived in New York, so like taking public transport is such a big thing. Where here it's
Right.
like it is not a thing. So I moved out here. I didn't even know what to buy. I got a Mini Cooper car because that's all anyone drives in the city. And my husband's like, "Why would you buy this?"
Right, you need a truck out there, right? Everyone's
Totally.
got SUVs.
Yeah, and I have an SUV now, but he still makes fun of me. He would never get in it. He hated it.
That's
It's like, I don't know,
great.
it's what people drive in Toronto. It's what people have. I don't know. It's like a small little compact city car.
Did you
Back
have
off.
any favorite spots to eat in Astoria? Because Astoria is it's a sleeper area of New York, very good food, and people don't really make it up there because
It's
it's
great
kind of out of the
food.
way.
Great food. So we would often go to McCann's Pub.
Yes, great.
That was a big spot for us. We would get the tidbits, which were little chicken morsels
Mhm.
with like a tomato sauce on like a garlic bread loaf, kind of.
Yes.
That was a big one. That was also my introduction into gosh, I can't remember which brand it is, but this like amazing banana bread beer. Starts with a W. Anyways, that was a big one. We would go to got it. What is this sushi restaurant we would always order from? Starts with a W as well. Hold on, let me ask. him.
Okay.
One sec.
This is important.
This is important. I probably ordered from the same sushi place.
I love that you guys
Because
were neighbors. That's adorable.
That's so crazy. Yeah. I mean, 20 blocks away.
That's neighbors.
That
to
in
me.
New York, yeah, we would walk
Yeah.
because she was probably closer to all the restaurants that we would walk up to. So on 30th.
So, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No
I had
worries.
to step away, but he also stepped away, so he can't answer my questions. His memory is much better than mine. What the hell was it called?
I was telling
Delicious
Ariel,
sushi
I'm pretty
place.
sure I probably ordered from the same place because we live kind of in the same area. So it's probably my sushi spot as well.
What is the name of it? Do you know?
I don't remember either because we've been in Harlem here for 3 years now.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Okay, we gotta. This is
Now I
this is
must
very important.
get to the.
Oh, it's Watawa, right?
Watawa.
Yes,
we would
that
always
was our
joke about it.
spot,
We
too.
gotta get Watawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Watawa was our absolute favorite. We would order from there all the time. And then what is the name of that really great Greek restaurant that's like across the street from there?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
I had one of their
potatoes.
mugs and it
Yep.
broke. Oh my god, that place was sensational. And then there's that
So
really
good.
great beer garden as well.
That was our go-to. We went there almost every weekend. Fantastic.
place is great.
Yeah.
There was another pub that was over on the other side on Astoria Boulevard that they had poutine. They had like some Canadian food on there, so we would go there sometimes too. I love that neighborhood. I loved being out there so
was
much. And there was an
great.
Did you ever go to the Australian restaurant out there?
What?
No, walked by it all the time, never went.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was my first time
Okay.
having a kangaroo.
Oh, was it like a
Oh.
burger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my
What
first
is it
time being
like?
like, I'm like, is this cooked? Because it looks pink the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the way that it's cooked, it always stays really, really pink. But yeah, it was great. That place,
it-
was,
What
but
is
they
the
also-
texture of kangaroo?
it's like gamey.
Mm.
It's very lean.
Okay.
They also, they just had like a bunch of like really great like vegetable dishes. Yeah, there's the food out in Astoria rules.
It is
Yeah,
great
it's
and
good.
a great selection too.
Shout out to Watawa.
Watawa.
This is a Watawa episode sponsored by.
Eating in there was cool too because they had like a little pond
Yes, they did. Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
what-
middle of it, which was
Yeah, because if you went onto
crazy.
the other side, because we would normally sit like around the bar or something, but yeah, on the other side where it's like the actual dining room. Yeah, it was
was
very
this
fancy. It's
little-
like a little like waterfall
Yeah,
set up. Yeah.
Check out Watawa.
Look at
everybody.
us.
No,
that's
oh
Look
my
at us
gosh.
go.
I move back now, Renee. You're making
Honestly.
nostalgia.
Oh, I miss it so much.
Wait, Renee,
many
so
great
then
little
tell
spots.
me about how you feel about food in Canada, where you're from,
Mm-hmm.
and the difference between Canada and U.S. food. What would you say is the main
Oh.
difference?
Well, firstly, one of the main differences that I noticed before we get into like all of the snacks, because the snacks in Canada
Yeah.
are exceptional.
Yes.
But I would really notice, so when I would travel on the road with WWE, I would leave out like my bananas, my bread, and I would expect it all to have been like gone by the time I got home, that like it would have been like past the point of eating. So the hormone levels, I think, in food
Oh.
here is different. They're like, oh my God, how are my
Oh.
bananas still yellow? What? So
That's
things
not
like
good.
that would, it's not great, but I mean, for what I was doing,
No,
it actually,
it's
I was
great.
like, actually, I'll kind of take it. I kind of need these things to
I'm
last me a little
proud
bit
to
longer.
be an American, where at least my banana's still yellow.
That's
Yes.
very concerning to hear.
I know. Yeah, that was one thing, and it's funny because I always like John always says that when we travel, like if we're up in Canada or like we're in the UK or something, he's like the food here just like it's harder to digest. I'm like, yeah, I think we don't have as many hormones in our food or something. Maybe I don't know what
Yeah,
exactly.
I went to
it is.
Ireland and they had like way more cheeses than we have in America because they can just do
Oh, yes.
anything. And I was like, what is this? And it tasted like it came from like an actual animal instead of
Oh
more
yeah, I mean
processed.
that's a scary thing too. Well, so since I'm pregnant, you can't have like unpasteurized cheese or unpasteurized anything. But when you go to any, like literally any grocery store, pretty much everything here is pasteurized.
Yeah.
So like you're kind of good. But yeah, realizing that, looking at all of the labels for things, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it's like, I don't know, everything just goes through like some kind of filtration process here.
Mhm.
But then on to the snacks. So snacks, obviously ketchup chips.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about
What-
you
yeah,
guys
what's that
love
about?
ketchup up there.
We love a ketchup chip. They're amazing. There's several different brands. I mean, like Lay's makes them. Humpty Dumpty makes one, which I would put Humpty Dumpty at the very
Humpty
top.
Dumpty.
Oh,
Humpty
okay.
Dumpty chips are very good.
Okay.
We also have a sour cream and bacon chip, smoky
Ooh.
bacon, all dressed chips, which you can get in the United States now. Thank God. No, they don't have them in every state, but we definitely have them here. You guys might have them in New York. I'm not sure.
I've seen them somewhere.
Probably. Yeah, like Ruffles makes them. And
Okay.
honestly, I would say it's a superior chip. Canada is
Okay.
known for the ketchup chip. I would give the slight edge to the all dressed chip. It's a little zippy, it's salty, it brings everything to the table. It's very palate pleasing.
Is it ranchy?
It's not ranchy.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, it's not ranchy. It's more on the tangy side.
Okay, I'm into that.
Yeah. Poutine, of course. an exceptional dish. Who doesn't love that?
I feel like
Cheese.
poutine's making its way down here because
It should be. Why would America not want
Right?
this?
It's so-
fries,
Americans don't
cheese
make it
curds, and
right.
gravy.
I have not had a good American poutine. Like people try to make it and they fail.
there's
It's
a
the
place
cheese.
here called Harlem Public that makes a nice poutine actually
All right. Okay.
up here where I live, and
I trust
yeah,
that.
it's very heavy though.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well,
You're
yeah.
gonna like crap your pants
Yeah.
after 100%.
100%.
I don't plan on moving after I eat
No.
poutine. I just
No. Don't have any plans afterward.
Couldn't look my
That's
wife in
like-
the
Never do.
eye. I had to.
That's
just,
my one
ugh.
thing.
Yeah.
No, that you have
My
to eat it
one
by
thing per day.
yourself. It's
Yes.
not you. It's like a solo act. No one's around while you're eating
But-
a poutine.
I understand why it comes from Canada because it's colder up there, and like
Yeah,
you would
we
just
gotta,
need that to warm you up.
we need a little fat layer on our
Yeah.
bodies to like keep
That's
it
fair.
together. But that's like a big thing in Toronto is like after a night of drinking, all the poutineries stay open late.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay.
So you go
that's
to the
your
pu-
halal is poutine.
Yes,
or your
100%.
tacos, like your late
Yeah,
night taco. your late night
Exactly.
halal.
Because
Okay.
yeah, so many of the different poutineries. I mean, there's obviously just like the original. Then they do them like kind of like nacho style, or they can do like a Montreal smoked meat version on top. Like
Oh.
it's
Mhm,
it's
Oh.
really endless options.
So there's layers to this game. It's not.
Oh my God,
just-
yeah.
Wow. It's
Okay.
not
I like
just your
classic.
standard.
I'm a classic gal, but yeah, if you want to get adventurous and add some meat on there, add some different sauces, be my guest.
Okay.
But
That's
I like to
beautiful.
keep it OG, definitely.
Whew.
Yeah, and then fast food restaurants too. We've got Harvey's, which is great. Harvey's is when we have Swiss Chalet, which is like a roast chicken spot. That's amazing. I've been really missing that, but you can buy Swiss Chalet sauce on Amazon. You can buy it.
I
Prime.
love it. So you're
Okay.
getting it sent
Yeah.
straight to the house.
Oh my god. Yeah, you can get great Taco Bell sauce in bulk, and you can subscribe to that. By the way,
And
you
subscribe.
can you can
Smart.
subscribe. Yeah,
Smart. Save
I-
10%.
I
That's
did
the
right.
more
find-
you know.
I was very pleased to find out how much of a fan you are of fast food because I saw your American
Yeah.
mukbang because
Yes.
there's some places that you weren't familiar with because being from Canada, and I was very happy to find out that you love Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell, but I had not had Del Taco.
Right, and then you had Del Taco. So where would you put the hierarchy of American taco fast food?
Oh, Taco Bell will always reign supreme.
It's the
for
king,
me.
right?
I love Taco Bell. I will
Yeah.
eat a soft taco supreme at
Yep.
any time. I absolutely love them. I love the taco. They're like Taco Bell fries are amazing.
Underrated fry.
Taco
We
Bell
talked
fries?
about this.
God. The nacho fries will they're amazing.
I did not know it existed. But also, I'm not a Taco Bell girl.
Taco
What,
Bell
what do you do?
is great
What's your
at
taco?
I
Taco
don't
potatoes.
do Taco Bell. I don't do it.
What do you?
If I were to eat Taco Bell, which is rare, I get a cheesy gordita crunch
Okay,
because
respectable.
I want all of the textures.
Okay, I
Um,
respect that. What about those cinnamon twist things? Do you get down with those?
No, I don't.
Wow,
I don't know what the people are eating at Taco Bell.
I
Okay.
mean,
it's a vast menu. I
it
will
is.
say there's
It
quite
is
the
a vast
variety.
menu.
Which I was surprised when I went to Del Taco. I was like, wait, you guys have like fish sandwiches and like hamburgers as well? I thought we were
Oh,
just doing
that's weird.
tacos here. I had no idea. But I do still have a list of American fast food establishments that I must go to. I've not had White Castle.
Okay, come to Jersey. Come eat
yeah.
with me.
It's
Right?
the land of
Yeah.
White
That is
Castle out
another
here.
where you need to just set aside the day
Yeah.
and go alone. And
It's like
it'll
it's like
clear
a
out the
bowel
bells.
cleanser, right?
Yeah,
See,
exactly,
we're on the same
exactly.
page. I get it. See, but sometimes you need that. That's how we it's a cleanse.
I
That's it.
I don't even like it, but we were near one yesterday and I almost turned the corner and asked my man to get some, but I didn't do it. I changed
Oh,
my
you
life
held
in that very
strong.
moment. I was strong.
We have to hold on to our dignity some way, right?
Renee, what was WWE catering like? I feel like everyone wants to know what's going on backstage with the storylines and the characters. I want to know, what are they feeding you guys
I'm
on
with you.
the Raw taping days? Is the food good? Are the guys like
So-
complaining about it? Like where does it lay?
So I always appreciated it, but there is some like bland things. They always do like the salt and pepper chicken that we'd all
Right.
joke, be like, "Oh, everyone go get more salt and pepper chicken." Like no one wants to have that. But then, so what they used to do, and they stopped doing this a few years ago. When we would do tapings, it would be like on pay-per-view weeks. We'd do like a pay-per-view on Sunday, Travel do Raw on Monday, Travel tape SmackDown on Tuesday to air on Friday or whenever it was airing. And but on that Tuesday after a pay-per-view, we would do breakfast for dinner in catering.
Oh.
And that
Yum.
was the shit. Like just the best pancakes,
Oh.
huevos rancheros, different egg dishes, the
Mm.
best bacon, always crispy, never floppy, not a piece amiss. They were incredible.
This sounds like almost like school lunch, where it's like,
Yes.
oh, it's breakfast day. And
Yeah,
everyone's
it's
but,
breakfast
like,
day. We're loving
we
this.
would get so excited for it, of like different waffles, like what are they gonna bust out today? So it could be really great, but then, over the years, I feel like it did sort of die down a little bit, that there would always be sort of staples, like some kind of a soup.
Okay. Because it sounds
Usually,
like from like watching Ride Along and listening to your podcast, like after the show is when everyone goes to eat. Like after the Raw taping, you just drive and find something
Yeah.
that's actual food.
well, the thing is that catering shuts down partway through the show.
Oh, I see.
So catering shuts down, say the show goes on the air at 8, by by about 8:30, catering is shutting down. So they have styrofoam boxes. If you want to pack something up and take it with you, by all means go for it. But otherwise, you have it so often. Like when I first started WWE, I was like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I walked into catering, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like I was so excited about it. Because they do have a great salad bar, great
Okay.
dessert, some of the best cookies ever. Like dessert-wise, they don't mess around. But everyone's walking, like you're going on to do TV or,
Right.
for the people that are going to wrestle, they're obviously really trying to avoid that. I'm like, my jumpsuit has a little give. I can
Yeah,
handle it.
right. Someone has to wrestle in their underwear. They might have to
Right.
steer clear of
Totally.
the cookies,
They
right? Yeah.
100%. And they are like a trap. There's something in those damn cookies.
When you're brand new, is it like the school cafeteria? Like, do you know where to go sit? Like, do you have your friend, like the cool kid table, the weird
Yeah, I guess
kid
it kind
table?
of can be like that a little bit. Because I mean, any situation, and especially like any work situation, any kind of social setting, there ends up being different versions of cliques within
Sure.
everything, anyways. But I always consider myself like pretty malleable in those situations. That like, this spot's open, I'll go hang over here, see what's happening with these people, or like the crew table's open, I'm gonna go see like what the guys in lighting and audio are up
that's
to
awesome,
today.
yeah.
So like, you kind of bop around depending on who's there. But I was like, I'm a bit of a grazer, so I would usually like pop in, grab some things, walk out, make like a little half sandwich, and keep walking. So it depends. Also, sometimes you're like during the day, you have like your people that like your day kind of consists around.
Right.
Like especially when I was doing commentary, I'm always with Michael Cole and Corey Graves, and Cole usually wanders off to do his own thing. But like Graves and I would sometimes we would just like head into catering together, or like, hey, meet me in catering. Check you have your buddies at work that you end up hanging out with and shooting the shit with. And Jon was always a hard one to track down because he just eats granola bars before everything.
Yeah, so I listened to your where Emilio Sparks interviewed you last night, and you talked about your husband being a picky eater, and you're a very adventurous eater.
Yeah.
My wife is also very picky, like to the point where like I introduced her to guacamole, which is not like crazy at all, right? It's just like this is like
Yeah.
come on, babe, this is not insane.
Yeah.
Like wait till we get to chicken feet or something.
Yeah.
So have you been able to get him to try new things, or is he sticking to the granola and the pepper chicken?
Here's some bullshit. So I always tried like, hey, do you want this? Or, like, what do you want for dinner? I'll cook this and whatever. And like, I'm always kind of offering that up to him. And he's like, man, I don't know, whatever. I'll just have a sandwich later. I don't care. He's very passive about the whole thing. But now my mom's in town. She's like, oh, I made you some pork chops. I did this. And he's like, great. Like, he'll just sit down and eat anything that she cooks. So I'm like, wait, why are you not doing this for me?
Right.
There's some serious favoritism happening here. And I'm making
She's
it
the
known
mom.
here. I know. I guess he's being nice. He's being polite.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my mom would be like, oh, does Jon like this? Will he eat this? I'm like, I might pick at it. And he wolfs the whole thing down. I'm like, all right, prove me
Sounds
wrong.
like he just likes hot food.
No, he doesn't. He eats everything cold.
What?
Yes. I'll cook dinner. So like generally like I'll cook myself dinner. Like I'll cook both of our dinners, but like I'll eat mine after I make it. His will sit on the counter. This is messed up. Hold on to your asses.
We're holding.
He will take his dinner. He eats his dinner in fucking bed before we
Wait.
fall asleep.
Yo,
What?
I actually appreciate that. Why are we mad at that? I
Ariel-
love a good eating in
Ariel's
a
bed.
big
I
bed
love
eater.
to eat in
Makes
bed.
It's the mess. It's dishes that are left. And then
I
my
get
dogs.
that.
My
I hear
dogs
you.
are all over him. Like they'll come under the blankets with me, and then as soon as he pulls out his sandwich, they're like, they come
Where does
back
he keep
up
the sandwich? Wait a minute.
on the bedside table. He literally does not come to bed without a sandwich or a
Wow,
wrap.
This man is a
So
legend.
you're
He
Renee,
is.
you're sitting
He
at a
is.
table with your utensils and your napkin, and you're having like a normal.
I'm not
human-
like form. I mean, I'll sit like at like the by the TV, like on our couch, kind of picking at my food. But yeah, he will eat everything cold. I'll be like, oh, do you want me to wrap this up and put it in the fridge? He's like, no, still gonna eat it. It just sits out for hours.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. I
Are you
don't know.
worried about your baby picking
Yes.
some of these?
I'm
No,
incredibly worried about
I
that.
get him a little bit. I can be like this, where I like don't want the food to be super hot because I want to be able to wolf it down, and I also want to be able to wolf it down in a bed. So what better time to just bring a sandwich to your night table and secretly eat it while your wife maybe is sleeping?
Well, and that's fine. I mean, go for it. As long as you're eating something, I'm okay with it. Here's my issue, though, is he's a big sauce guy, and he wipes his fingers on the sheets.
That's rude. Do you have
Right?
multicolored
Oh my God.
sheets? Get multicolored sheets.
I've
No
had
white sheets
to.
in this house.
No. Everything's multicolored. Yeah, no,
Okay.
nothing can be picked up on.
Just a
Absolutely not.
sauce-colored sheet.
Oh
You
my
have to get it
God.
custom made.
And listen, I've tried to battle this for years at this point, 7-8 years in. I'm like, it is what it is. There's
Right,
no point
right.
in it. There's no battling it
No one's
anymore.
getting hurt, right? Just the
No.
poor sheet.
Yeah, just
I mean, there's
sheets.
sometimes that I'm like, are you digesting food okay? Like, is it okay? I don't know.
His
I think
body's
also,
holding it in.
I mean, that's a real good character move. They always say you have to pull in from reality. And if I heard a guy say, I eat in bed and wipe the sauce on my sheets, I would be very scared. I mean, there's
I
something
know.
That is
wrong
a power
with this
move. That's
person.
powerful.
Yeah,
It is. It's confidence at
It
like
is, yeah.
maximum confidence.
It is. So
Because
Yeah.
who's gonna tell you no? The dog?
Oh, the dogs love it. The dogs
So-
wait for him. So we have a bulldog and like a chihuahua mix.
Oh.
Every single morning, the chihuahua will always be like, "Let's get up and play." I mean, he's like down to clown. Where the bulldog, I've got to like hoist his ass out of bed,
Yeah,
but
he's
he
dense.
won't come. Very dense. He won't come down the stairs with me until he wanders over to John's side of the bed to see what's been dropped through the night.
Right.
They have a
Smart.
system. They both have a
Wow.
system.
This
Yeah.
is beautiful.
I
So
know.
Renee, you've traveled the entire globe, really. What would be your top food cities on the
Ooh.
planet? Like, do you have some sleepers? Do you have some go-tos?
Yeah. There's a place in Memphis that we would always go to called Westie's, and it was like right around the corner from the hotel that we would stay in. They just had incredible barbecue, like little joint that was like not on Beale Street. So it was still like away from everything there. They're not open 24 hours, but they're open super late, which is incredibly helpful when we get into a room at 1 a.m.
Right.
So that place was a huge one for us. We would get like pumped anytime we're in Memphis. We're like, oh, it's Westie's time. So we would go there. Nashville's obviously one that I love. Give me some Nashville hot chicken
Oh,
any
yeah.
day. I
Mhm,
will always do it.
mhm.
And just like the food scene, the restaurant scene there is great, much as it is in like Austin, obviously. Like there's so many great places out there. In Seattle, like we're more so like dive bar finders.
Okay.
I like
love
to
that.
seek out a good dive bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seattle, there's a great spot, which the name I'm drawing a blank on now, but it's just above the Pike Place Market, and they like sell a bunch of popcorn and booze, and it's great. It's a great little hole in the wall spot. I have a bunch of them in Toronto that I couldn't even. There's no point in me even really listing them off here because there's a million of them. Gosh, where else? A place that we like to go to eat or drink.
What about Vegas? Is everything just like the buffet stuff, or do you find like real sit-down restaurants that locals know about?
There's a ton of great restaurants in Vegas that are like, because we don't go to the Strip really
Sure,
ever.
right.
We're like,
It's
we're
like
just
going to
not, like,
Times Square if you live in New York,
exactly.
right?
You're not really bothering, and like we're not big. Like when we party at home. We keep it. We keep
Yeah,
it local.
Right.
But yeah, there's actually the Chinatown in Las Vegas is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's tons of like, and it's really like a ton of stuff is like really popping up out there of like different really cool restaurants. I went to this other place downtown, just off of Fremont Street recently called Carson Kitchen, and they have really great food there. Just like a really fun, cool menu. They had like a Hawaiian pasta that I was interested in
Oh.
because I do a Hawaiian fried rice in my cookbook, and I was like, oh, what's this like? But it's like these really great cuts of Spam, nicely
Yes.
crisped up with like the pineapple. Yeah, and it was served cold, which I was kind of into. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, in
Okay.
Vegas, there's so many different places that are off the strip that have a ton to offer. Yeah, anytime people come to town, I'm like, go here, go check out
Yeah.
all these other
Oh,
spots.
I love a good spam.
I hear that.
too.
I've never
love
never
Spam.
tried. So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
there's a ton of great spots. You would love it. I don't know
Um,
your palate, but I can
I'll
find
hit you up
something
next
for
time I
you.
go to Vegas.
Please do.
Like, where am I eating?
Please do.
We'll eat anything, really.
We
That's
will.
the
This is true.
that's the genesis of
me.
this podcast. Yeah.
Same.
So how did you whittle down like what to put in the book? Because I feel like I'd be like, oh, I want to just put everything I know how to make. I don't know, like, but I'm sure you had a page count and like you had to pick like, a theme.
Well, I wouldn't even say there's like necessarily a theme. So it was like I started writing the cookbook and like manifesting doing this cookbook forever ago.
Right.
So I had maybe like 10 to 15 recipes that I've been like kind of writing down and like, oh, this would be good in like this book that I want to write one day. And then when I finally, convinced somebody to actually let me write a cookbook, they're like, okay, we need 60 to 70 recipes. And I was like,
Oh my God.
for
That's
me,
so many
I have to do
recipes.
those? Okay.
We should do a collab instead. That's
Yeah,
too many
yeah,
recipes for
right?
one person.
Well, also when you're not actually a chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love to cook.
Right.
Love to cook. I love being in the kitchen, but like that was the thing that was like the really interesting part of it was like sort of like that confidence builder of yourself of like, well, we're doing this. It's like fake it till you make it. You've got to come
Mhm.
up with these recipes and come up with things that you like. And as I was kind of, picturing what I wanted this to look like, I was just thinking of what some of my favorite foods are and what I could do as a spin on that or like different versions of things that I wanted to make as my own. Like doing the French onion soup, grilled cheese. That was a big one where I was
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
love French onion soup.
Ooh,
Who
ooh,
doesn't?
ooh.
Let's turn it into a sandwich.
Yeah.
To do a shepherd's pie pierogi. Love me a good
Yum.
pierogi. Let's stuff it with something different. Why not?
Yes.
And then, also just blending different things that I had throughout my journeys of having like a corn soup when I went to Japan with my husband and I had never had just like a straight corn soup before. Rocked my world. So I wanted to
Oh,
like
yeah.
recreate something like that. It's like, it's not quite a chowder, but I guess it could be kind of chowder-esque. It's still like pureed smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it was really just finding the things that I wanted to put my own spin on. And actually I was really lucky because my mom had found a bunch of my grandmother's recipe cards.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
she sent me a ton, which is where the Hawaiian fried rice came from. Hers was just a Hawaiian rice. I felt like it needed to be fried because it got very gummy.
Right.
So I ended up doing a fried rice version of that. And I also got like a Scotch egg recipe from her
Oh, yeah.
that I put in there. Yeah, so it was really nice to be able to like lean on some of my grandmother's recipes a little bit as I
I'm
was
so
like
excited to
figuring
do
it all
your
out.
recipes, Renee. This is
Yes.
gonna be, oh. So
I
when
can't
you're
wait.
writing the cookbook, are you literally like finding the ratios and the measure? That sounds like the hardest part.
That is
Yeah,
the
'cause
hardest
I'm-
part.
sometimes
I'm
you
a
have to
good home
test.
cook, but I'm a very in the Asian style of like learning from my mom and my grandma. You just
You don't measure
do it.
anything.
No, you don't really.
Exactly.
Yeah, a handful of salt. Who knows?
Totally. That's where I am. So when I'd actually have to measure stuff, I'm like, God, that sounds like it's a lot. Is that how much I'm actually putting in?
Right.
That when you're actually having to measure stuff out and you're writing it down and trying to figure out like, does that sound crazy? Is that what actually works? So, and I think that I have like a bit of like a salty palate. I do.
We
I
love
love
salt.
me.
Same.
I
Yeah.
love me
Same,
some
though.
salt. Bloat me
Yep.
up and let's call it a
Mhm.
day. I
Roll
love
me
it.
around.
My wife's
Honestly.
family is very anti-salt, so whenever I cook for
No.
them, they're like the flavor. And I'm like, it's just it's salt, guys.
It's simply salt.
This is salt. It's very
Oh my
good.
God. Yeah, yeah, that's like the tricky thing when you're cooking for other people. And I kind of like talk about that in the book. I'm like, listen, I walk into a room like kind of like tongue first. I'm like, what am I gonna eat? What's around
Yeah.
here? Like,
Yeah.
I'm very adventurous when it comes to that. When like I'm cooking for other people, I'm like, do they enjoy these bold tastes as much as I do? I hope so. Like,
Yeah.
I do like an anchovy popcorn.
Woo!
Yeah, which I was like,
Mm.
I know people are gonna read that and be like, I don't think
Adventurous.
so.
No, I don't think that sounds bad at all.
It's amazing.
Salty goodness.
Yeah,
What's-
it's like
what's
all
the
that like
problem?
salty umami goodness. And I do kind of like, we talked about Jon being a picky eater, and he's a big fan of that because it's not fishy at all. The anchovies
No.
completely melt down into the butter sauce.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's heaven. You just toss your popcorn in it. It's just like this little je ne sais quoi. It's very
Yeah.
good.
A lot of cooking is about lying to people too. Like you can't
Totally.
tell
Deception.
someone it's anchovy because they're
Yes.
like, I don't like anchovies. I
Totally.
literally just lied to my friend. She doesn't like spicy food. and I made her enchiladas, and it had spice all up in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Is there anything spicy in this?" I was like, "No,
Nope.
girl. I maybe some of the sauce. I don't really know." And she's like, "Yeah, it's so good. Send me the recipe." There are chilies in there.
Yeah,
Straight
you
up
have
chilies.
to bullshit people
I
all
have
the
to
time.
lie.
Yep.
I don't feel good about it. But
I
now
do.
she knows. She's right here.
I feel great about it. I feel like I've won. I'm like, see, I
Yes,
told you
that's
you
true.
like that
That's true.
shit, and you just thought that you didn't because it was in your head because someone told you
Yep.
you didn't
Mhm,
100 years
mhm.
ago.
That's
You're fine.
exactly what happens to people.
Mhm.
They convince themselves that they don't like something,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's always a version of something you can find that they will enjoy for
Like
sure.
I have a close friend of mine hates tomatoes, and it really
Wrong.
bums me out.
That's a
They're wrong.
bummer.
Yeah, like who doesn't want?
Tomatoes are in everything too.
They're-
My friend
they're
too, she
in
doesn't like
everything.
tomatoes.
Yeah, like I want just like a straight tomato sandwich.
Yeah.
Like I want all
Yum.
that. Like it's really hard. Like John doesn't like mushroom or not mushroom. Sorry, he doesn't like garlic or onions.
Oh
that's
no,
in
I put garlic and onion in
everything.
everything.
It's
I
in
always
everything.
double my
That is, I
garlic in
triple the
recipes
garlic.
too because I
Give
love
me
it.
all of that.
Mhm.
So I often lie to him about
Yeah.
what's in
Yeah,
the food.
he needs to
You
be
know,
lied
you
to.
can
Sorry.
get garlic so granular that they will never know.
Oh
No,
and
it's just
once
a
it's
touch
cooked
of-
down, I'm like, okay, if you don't like raw onion,
I get
That's
that.
different.
Sure,
fine,
yeah.
fine. But let me cook it, and then we'll have a
But
conversation
it becomes
about
so many
it.
different garlic and onion become so many different things that how
Yes.
could you even like a roasted garlic is not the same as garlic
Totally.
regular chopped. I'm just upset now.
Yeah. No, I know. Me too.
Keep
So
lying to people.
It's funny because I'll
Keep
be like
lying.
in the kitchen cooking, and he'll be like looking over to be like, "Are you putting all that in there? Is that what's going in the meal?" I'm like, "Yeah, just go do something else. Don't you have like a
Right.
workout
You're
to
gonna
do
eat
or
it
like
cold by the bedside anyway. What does it
Exactly.
matter?
Exactly.
It's ending up on the sheets. Come on,
Yeah.
get out of here.
Honestly.
Oh my
Renee, one of the
gosh.
really cool things why I'm really excited for the cookbook is that, like I said, we talk about the intersection of food and culture here. And in your cookbook, you have like songs that are picked out and quotes that are picked out that kind of like go with each dish. Is that
Yeah.
right? That's really cool. How
Yeah.
do you pick like what fits the mood of a dish?
Okay, so I didn't necessarily have it for each dish, and that was something in hindsight that I was like, oh, I kind of wish I did do that actually. But what I did, so the beginning of each chapter has different quotes. There's like a Bill Burr quote. There's a Dolly Parton, Miss Piggy.
Eat garlic,
Miss
dude.
Piggy.
Is that the quote? Fuck, dude.
Oh my god!
I
No,
don't
and
even
then
know what accent that is.
I'm
That's
not-
my
what are
Bill
you trying
Burr
to be?
accent.
oh,
I thought that was
Brutal.
your Dolly Parton. I was
Oh,
confused.
is that like, oh, God.
do not
Alright.
besmirch Dolly Parton in front of me. Hell no.
No, we love Dolly in
We
this
who
house.
doesn't love Dolly?
That's true.
So it was finding those different quotes that I wanted to put in. It actually started off with wanting to do the Mitch Hedberg, his whole bit on club sandwiches. So that was where it kind of started. And I was like, oh, I'll put that at like the beginning of like my
Mhm.
sandwich section. And I was like, oh, maybe I should like find some other like fun, good food quotes from people that I like, and yeah, just to add a little more like personality, a little more zip behind it. But then at the very back of the book, there's a QR code. So I have put together
Right.
playlists. So there's
Oh.
about 6 different playlists just for different moods, whether you're having like a romantic evening, you're having a girls' night, you're having like drinks and a barbecue. So I just kind of, I had in mind what I really wanted to put in there, but then I also reached out to like some other trusted friends that I
Mhm.
believe that had good taste, and they would also contribute to me putting these lists together. So that was just something that I thought was just like a really cool interactive thing to add in there. I mean, who doesn't love to eat and who doesn't love music,
100%. Every time I cook, I have to put something on my record
Yes.
player just because
Yeah.
it's all part of the thing,
The
you know?
It
experience.
is. Yes,
Yeah.
it's all part of that experience. And for me, it's like having a big glass of wine, being in the kitchen, chopping up a bunch of things, braising things, stewing things. Like
Yeah.
I like to be in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Some
sort
of my
of-
best memories as a kid is just hanging out in the kitchen
Yeah.
watching someone cook. Yeah.
The kitchen is like the epicenter of everyone's house. So it's like
the heart.
it is. Yeah, like having, just those different smells and the different memories and having music to kind of back that up. I think those things all go hand in hand for creating memories that
Right.
will, really last for people. So I hope it translates to that.
Oh, that's so
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sold.
very excited for
Yeah.
I'm
everything.
very sold.
Yeah.
But wait, now we should talk about some news.
All right, let's go over a little
news.
food news now that
Food
Okay.
we know all of the wonderful things about Renee's book and her
Mhm.
life and her career.
And Watawa, let's not leave out Astoria here.
Oh yeah,
Watawa.
If you're in New York, make the. There's no more NQR. It's the NW now. They got rid of the Q. The Q only goes to
May she
Manhattan.
rest.
Yeah,
May she rest.
that's
Wow.
right. It stays on the east side. Does not go into Astoria anymore.
Bless
Very
that.
upsetting. Very, very upsetting.
Yeah, that is sad.
This, Renee, I'm already a huge fan of yours, but last night I listened to your interview and you were like, you love dark meat and you love chicken thighs. And I'm like, thank God, because a lot of people hate dark meat because it's that adventurous
Pussies.
side that they're
They're afraid.
pussies,
What are you
little
afraid
bitches
of? I don't
about it.
understand, but
What's
racism.
gonna happen?
That's right. That's the name of this episode. Renee Young says you're a pussy for not eating chicken. But there was this article in Bloomberg that was like America's finally embracing dark meat chicken, and I felt like that was very alienating because Ariel and I talk about how like we grew up eating dark meat all the time,
Yeah.
and it's just so interesting to me that like people have grown up and have thought forever that the breast meat is the best part of the chicken.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, listen, everyone always wants to talk about being on a budget. Get the dark meat, everybody.
Chicken thighs are so much cheaper and
They're
so much better.
So cheap and
Yes.
so much better. Yes. And also buy your meat on the bone.
Yes.
Let's also be
Yes.
doing more of that. Because that's a game changer. Like I made pork chops the other night and they were not on the bone. And boy, did I regret it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was what was there, so I got it. I had my
Yeah.
heart set on making, a pork chop, but having it on the bone is the way to go. You get so much more flavor. You get more of that fat, and people are so afraid of fat. Let's
Yeah.
not be afraid of the fat.
That
we need
is
the
necessary. Salt, fat,
Yeah.
acid,
Just-
heat, everybody.
Yep.
Exactly. Exactly.
People eat the chicken breast, and I don't think anyone actually likes it though.
No,
They've
because
convinced
all
themselves.
anyone says is like, I hate chicken breast. It's dry. It's bland. It's
Yeah.
boring. It's like, well, then let's stop eating the chicken breast.
Yeah.
I told
people
Bryan
were
that I
like,
just
it's-
bought some. And he was like, I only buy it for my dogs.
My
They eat
dogs
it
eat the
bland. And
chicken
I was like,
breast,
fuck
that's
you,
it, yeah.
Bryan.
Train
God,
your dogs. Give them that dark meat.
I
No,
should give
it's
them some thighs. Yeah.
they deserve.
honestly,
No-
no, it's so much better.
So versatile too. I do fried chicken with chicken thighs. It's so much better.
Oh
Chicken
my gosh.
sandwiches.
Mm.
Yeah. I
if
do
you go to-
barbecue chicken thighs a lot. That's like a
100%,
staple in
yeah.
this household,
Yum.
big time.
It's funny though, because when people go and get like a chicken taco, like what do you think that chicken is? They're not making taco
That's
meat
right.
with
No.
breast meat.
That softy meat you're tasting, dark
Yeah.
meat, baby.
It's all dark meat. I'm
Exactly.
That's
sorry to
softy,
tell you.
delicious.
Yes.
It's
just- I think-
cold.
Things just get so ingrained in everyone's brain. I think from
Yeah.
when we were kids and I was definitely I was raised on having white meat. That was always a thing where it's but then, when you sort of open your mind, you're like, wait, this is actually these other meats are much better. You're having a turkey, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. Everyone's like, I just want the breast. I want the breast. It's like, no, give me those thighs. Give me
Yeah.
that dark meat. And also for the leftovers, are you crazy?
Oh, are you
Right,
crazy?
right.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Have the dark meat.
I've told
Let's
this
get a
story on the
little
podcast
longevity.
millions of times. My wife is a white person, and my very
so
first Thanksgiving with her family, they were about to throw away all the dark meat, and I go up to her dad like,
Throw
no,
away?
I will eat all of it.
Just give it to me. I'll
And I
make
got all the
sandwiches.
dark meat.
Shame, shame, shame.
But now she's on the
Terrible.
dark meat kick.
Yeah,
Just try it, people. It will change your life. It 100% will change your life.
it will. And it really is. People just have ideas ingrained in their brains and people don't like change.
No.
People
Yeah.
get so freaked out by
Right.
change in any capacity. And I think especially food, for me, I will try any food. If somebody else is eating it and they're not going to get sick or die from it, I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. I'll try anything.
I feel
Yes.
you 100%.
Why rob yourself of that experience?
You
Try
gotta
it.
go nose to toes on this. Chicken feet, delicious.
Yes.
I love chicken
Yeah.
I
feet.
want to try.
I've
I
actually
watched an
not.
episode-
You have not had them.
I would,
I watched
Renee,
okay.
when you can, I would say there's got to be a dim sum spot in the Chinatown
Oh,
in Las
yes.
Vegas and order
Yeah.
the chicken feet.
Okay.
Yeah, you just got to get the feet part of it out of your head.
Sure.
But once it's in your mouth, ooh,
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
cooked.
it's like
We're having a
meat
good time.
jello. You don't even need to chew it. It's incredible.
So a friend of mine, we were actually just talking about this because he cooks chicken feet a lot, and we've had this conversation. He's always telling me, I've not cooked it myself. I'm certainly not opposed to it. I've just not done it. But yeah, that will be the next adventure that I need to really lean into.
Yeah.
I'm
Do it,
down.
chicken
I'm
feet.
down. Do you fry
It's-
them?
It's steamed in this like very nice dark soy sauce and
Mm.
ginger, garlic, scallions on top. You just get it down to like it's falling off the bone. And there's only really a few bones in there. There's quite a few bones in the foot, but it all separates, and then you get all the like the muscle and the collagen, and it's so good.
I mean, you must be able to get a great broth out of that too, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that. That's what I like. That's all the stuff that I want post baby. I keep reading about all these different broths and like having all the different collagen and all that. How like
Oh,
good that's
yeah.
supposed to be
Oh
for your
God, the
body
broth
afterward.
industry.
Oh right,
Millennials are ruining the broth industry. There's a whole thing now. I
No, it
went to
is.
the store and there was a whole wall of broths. I'm like, this needs to stop. We could make our own broths, people. Make your own broth
Yeah,
You have
It's
bones.
true.
from the food that you buy. Just make your own delicious broth.
Also, who doesn't own a slow cooker? Just pop it in that bad boy and leave it
Right.
overnight. You're good to go.
The end.
And it'll be incredible. Your
Yeah.
whole house will smell amazing too.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll smell like
Heaven.
Thanksgiving. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome.
Let's
Foolish.
move on to our final news piece of the day. So, America being in America, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. If you showed your vaccination card to Krispy Kreme, you get a free donut,
Yes.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
unlimited. You can just do it every day. You can just.
I
show
did
your-
it. I got my donut.
Oh
was
my
great.
God.
It was free. It tasted better than regular.
Of course it did. Was like their Krispy Kreme sign on, so it was like fresh and ready to go.
No, they just they know that you're coming in to get a free donut and they're tired of you. So they have
Sure.
it ready and they just throw it at you.
And who
It's like
cares?
there's no ceremony. They're like, "Okay, bitch, we know what you're here for." And they threw a packet of donut at me and
oh
I
my God.
Felt a little
into
bad
your
about
mou-
it, but-
right into your mouth.
because I didn't order anything else. I'm sure people feel guilty and they're like, "I'm also going to get a coffee and like a dozen donuts." No, I went there for a reason.
Mhm.
Free donut.
It's
That's
been a
it.
pandemic. Do what you want.
Give me my free
Yeah.
donut.
And I've become quite donut obsessed.
Oh.
I normally, I mean, obviously donuts are great. We all know this is not new information, but like we were saying before, I really have a savory palate, but during my whole pregnancy, I now have a sweet tooth. And I want
interesting.
like cakey things. So like having donuts, like I went to the grocery store the other day and I like shame eat it in my car before I get home.
no,
That's
Like,
the
no.
nobody
winner circle.
saw
That's what that
anything.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. I like eat it in the car, toss it away. But there's a really great spot here called Pink Box Donuts, and they deliver, and
Yes.
they have just their donuts are so good. I actually used them in part of my maternity shoot because you have to
You
get
gotta.
those donuts out there, eat them off
Yeah.
my belly. Let's get down to it. I love a
I'm gonna look
donut
them
these
up.
days, though. Oh my God, a
Pink
donut
Box
or like a
Donuts.
cinnamon bun. Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah.
I need that now. I want.
We,
Actually, I
um,
have a mini donut maker at home that I've not used. Why have I not used
Oh,
it?
gotta
Why
do
haven't you?
that.
What is happening? Who are you?
No, I'm not. I don't even know why. I don't know. I have a duty now.
You do.
I'm
There's a
I'm
mission.
following Pink Box Donuts now. By the way,
Yeah, no, they're great. Check them out. They make amazing donuts.
I
excited.
think they're in LA too, and I had them there.
They're
so
heaven.
good. Yeah.
Oh
it
my
says
And
so
they're the
good you'll
big
lick the box.
Cakey
Yeah.
donuts, right?
Yeah.
So good. So,
They've
so
got
good.
so many different kinds, and they always like switch up the menu a lot. Yeah, they're really really great.
Yeah, I got
I'm
really
into
into
it.
like lemon icing.
Mm,
So
Oh,
yes.
good.
I made lots of lemon loaves
Crazy
and lemon
good.
Yep.
icing.
Lemon icing's great. I also really love a good maple glaze.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
classic.
Mhm.
Yeah, maple glaze is really
that's
good.
that Canadian in you.
Totally. But honestly, if I had to pick like one donut for the rest of my life, it would just be like an old fashioned plain. I love
Yeah.
just like a
I like that
plain
too.
ass donut, like the little crispy bits on the inside.
Yep.
Ooh.
The best donut I ever had was in Portland, Maine. They had sweet potato donuts, like
Oh.
a cake donut. It was stupid. It was very,
Wow.
very good. It was really just cakey and wonderful, and that's how I like my donuts. So,
Yeah, I like them cakey too. Have you had voodoo donuts?
I have. I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah,
those are
voodoo donuts
great.
are pretty good
Those are
too.
good.
They're pretty
Those are good.
wild.
They go pretty crazy too with
Yeah.
bacon and cereal
Yeah.
and they go all
The thing
out.
with the bacon on a donut though that I can't always get down with is like if there's a chewy bit in there, it needs to be crispy.
Yeah, it has to be. If you get like an older one that's been sitting
Mhm.
there for a while, you
Uh-uh.
lose the effect.
No.
for
Yeah, it's
sure.
just
At
the
the-
grease
at
is
the-
sopped through. It's
Yeah.
not good.
I worked at a donut place for much of pandemic, and I would make the bacon for the donuts, and I
Oh.
always made it extra crispy. So
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Thank
What
you
a
for your
girl.
service. Frontline
What
worker.
a girl.
It's all in the make sure you bake the bacon. It's
Yes.
not frying. You have to bake the bacon.
in the
people.
oven.
Yeah.
Let's get it
Controversial,
together.
but you got
It's not.
effective.
It's not. It's that people don't
Controversial
know.
yet effective. Yeah.
Yep.
Because
It's that
people
they don't know.
often botch doing their bacon in a pan.
Oh, it's either
Yes.
under or over.
Always, because you get a little bit nervous and you pull it out too early, or if you
Mhm.
leave, it's a slippery slope.
Or you get a
Very
half and
It's the
half.
treacherous game.
actual-
Oh
it's
my
the actual
god!
actual cooking of it is kind of incorrect when you do it frying, because you're only getting one kind of like sear at the bottom, and then the
Yeah.
other gets almost like soggy.
Yeah,
So when you're in the oven, you're getting full 360 degree heat, hot,
me that.
crispy
See?
I
goodness.
was getting into the science of it.
it's smart. Also,
I really did read that. That's
and
true. That's
you're
legit.
also not getting splashed with the grease.
right.
That's
Very
true.
a
So
safer
many
bet.
t-shirts ruined
Yeah.
from
Oh
making
my
bacon.
God.
Eyes
Jesus.
Yeah.
splotched out
Yeah.
from grease.
There's nothing worse than
Yes.
that. Like shit.
I
Got
like
me.
this outfit, yeah. So not only can you get donuts now with your vaccination card in New York, you can get
Yes.
a free side of fries. And this story is just so fun. Like I feel like we're the only country in the world that has to bribe people with fast
Food
food
incentives.
to
I
get
love
the
it.
vaccine. Like the vaccine should be its own gift. It's like you don't die.
Yes. Yeah. You're healthy.
the gift that keeps on giving.
But in
Um,
America, it's like, no, we have to throw food at everybody.
Who's giving away the fries?
Shake Shack
Shack.
is.
But you
Oh,
have
okay.
to buy a burger. It's all a lie. You have to
Oh.
buy the burger to get
Mm.
the fries to say like, I was vaccinated. Here's my fries.
I mean,
I
that makes
actually had
sense.
Shake Shack the other day and it was not good. And I love Shake Shack, but it
Oh,
was
I love Shake
not
Shack too.
great. Yeah, no, Shake
that's
Shack is
sad.
my jam. I love it. But I ordered it the other day. And,
I'm an In-N-Out
Didn't know.
hardliner.
okay, all right.
So it's tough being on the East Coast. I'm from the West Coast originally,
Okay.
and there is a big feud between the two.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I'm an In-N-Out radical.
Fair enough. Hey, you
Yeah.
got to sit
Well,
on
look.
one side of the fence, so
Yeah,
I
that's
respect
right.
it. We're on
He
Shake
chooses-
Shack. You're on In and Out.
He's made a decision.
But there's In-N-Out in Vegas. Have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, we've
Are
got
you a
In and Out
fan?
here. Yeah, of course, it's delicious. I do love it, but I do give the lean to Shake Shack
Wow.
for sure. Also, their
I
chicken's
appreciate you,
really good.
Renee.
Yeah.
Okay,
thank
so
you.
that's the thing.
chicken
They
at
have
Shake
the
Shack's
chicken
great,
sandwich, which is good.
too. Mhm.
But
And
burger
they
to burger.
Have you had it's like a cheesy mushroom sandwich that they
Yeah.
have at Shake Shack?
Yeah.
That shit is delicious and molten, and you'll
It's
burn
really
your
good.
mouth, and it's wonderful.
Yep,
So this
and they
is-
have like
yep.
bacon cheese fries.
Yes, they
Okay,
do.
So this is my argument every time I have this debate with the Shake Shack people. You guys always go to the chicken,
Shake Shack
the
people.
mushroom, and the bacon fries. And In-N-Out, all we got is the burger, and that's the king.
Yes, but the
Okay.
burger is also good. I'm just telling you
No, the
other
burger-
things you can get.
The burger is what I have, but
Oh.
I do
Yes.
like those options. And I will say just another option that they have because I ordered it not knowing that it was the vegetarian chicken, the like fake chicken. But they
Oh.
had it was
Like a seitan.
it was like a kimchi chicken sandwich.
And
it was amazing. It was
where?
at Shake Shack.
Wow.
But where? It's probably like regional because we don't have anything like
Oh,
that.
maybe this was not long ago. This was in the last like 3 months.
Maybe they're testing
Wow,
it out.
that's
yeah,
amazing.
it was very good. Yeah, like the kimchi chicken sandwich was awesome.
You just
All right,
changed
well,
the
I will
game
definitely-
up.
If it comes out here, I will
Okay.
I will break down. I do like their chicken sandwich though, for sure.
They are
No, you
good.
guys, I want to move to Ohio because instead of giving away free food, they're putting your name in a lottery if you got the vaccine, and you could win $1 million.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Why
that's-
doesn't everyone do that? Because I would have gotten my vaccine the moment it came out. I mean, I
Yeah.
did, but still,
You would have done it even faster.
even faster, immediately.
Yeah. Huh. I like the
I'm-
incentives though.
The
I got to get mine.
incentives.
I've not had mine yet because I'm pregnant.
get
I've
it.
like
Oh, right, you
I've
have
put it
to-
off.
Oh, she's
Yeah, yeah,
pregnant.
yeah.
But you
Right.
can. I think people are still getting pregnant, but I literally have like 3 weeks left in my pregnancy, so I'm
Right.
just gonna ride it out. Plus,
Just
I've already
wait it
had
out,
it. I
yeah.
got COVID, so I have the antibodies. Still.
Yeah, I had COVID
Oh.
too, Renee. We're survivors.
We are survivors.
Right.
I'm not
COVID
100%
can suck a
clear.
big one.
Huge one.
Yeah.
A huge
time.
dirty
I'm not
one.
100%
Yeah.
whether or not I had it, but I probably had it.
Renee, before we wrap things up, I feel like the world is now your oyster. You're doing whatever you want. Ellen is leaving. Is that like a type of job you
This
would
could
want to?
be it.
Here's the thing. I'm a big fan of yours, and I felt like everything WWE threw at you, you knocked it out of the park.
Hey.
I think you've talked about how you didn't love doing commentary, but
Oh,
I thought you were
hated
great
it,
at
but
that
yeah.
too.
Thank you.
You've traveled the world. There's a huge vacuum left by Anthony Bourdain passing
that's
away.
true.
Yeah.
Would you do like an Ellen type show? Would you rather do a Bourdain type travel show? Are you open to stuff like that?
I mean,
could see doing both of those things.
Both of those things are so up my alley. And like you said, it's like Bourdain obviously left this like huge vacancy when he stepped away. And he is just such a, I mean, we can talk about how excellent Anthony Bourdain is for this entire episode. He's fantastic. But to try to, I think so many people like, when you go into like pitch shows, it's like, I can be like the female Anthony Bourdain. It's like, all right, lady.
Yeah.
But that, like, something like that would be great to like, just doing that combination of travel and food and delving into the culture. Like that stuff that I really love that he was able to do was like really getting into a culture and peeling back all these layers and like talking to really fascinating people. And that's something that I started doing with my podcast where like I really want to have, like, I just love talking to people. So to be able to intertwine those things, but I mean, obviously like looking at what Ellen's been able to do with that platform, something in there would be great. I always have said, I'm like, oh, to have like a Kelly Ripa kind of gig, but obviously, Ellen falls in that same category. But something like that, I would absolutely love to do. And I think as I kind of keep my foot on the gas pedal, now that I've stepped away from WWE, my book is out. I'm going to drop a baby like it's hot real quick. And then I'm excited to kind of step back into the world. And now as things are opening back up, like I left WWE like in the peak of in a pandemic. So everything was closed, not a lot was going on. But then I found out I was pregnant like 2 weeks after. So started doing my podcast and it's been great. But yeah, I'm excited on the other side of things to now kind of pop my head up above water and be like, now what do we get to do?
Yeah, you kind of planned everything, or everything happened kind of perfectly, right?
She didn't plan it.
Serendipitous.
Yeah,
did work out.
What does she know? What does she know?
Yeah, it's weird how it's weird. Things work out sometimes. I like put some good shit out there and hope that maybe it'll be returned to me. So we'll see.
That's cool. So Renee's book is in Amazon. It's at Barnes & Noble. Where can like people follow you online? Where can they find you?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, just at Renee Paquette, Paquette. I know that one's a speller. Sorry. And I do my podcast that comes out every Tuesday and Thursday. You can listen to that anywhere you guys get podcasts. It's called Oral Sessions. And yeah, and then my cookbook, it's at Barnes & Noble. It's on Amazon, Indigo if you're in Canada. Just give a little search and you'll be able to find it.
Messy in the kitchen. Ariel, where can we follow you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Ariel Leaty. I'm out here doing things, not writing books or making babies, but who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? The world is my oyster.
But you got a free donut, girlfriend.
That's true. Things are different. What about Bryan? Where can we find you?
BryanYoung.com, at Bryan Young on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for listening. Renee, thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
You're the absolute best. What a pro. And
yeah, you're amazing. What a fun time. Thank you, Renee.
Yes, it was a fun chat. Thanks for having me on.
That's the episode. Thank you guys for listening. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.